This is the one and only video you're ever going to need to learn how to invest in Pokemon. That's right. All right. So Pokemon investing is very, very easy. What you do, you buy sealed product, you wait 5 to 10 years, the product goes up, you laugh. Hey, look, now you made money. Not complicated, right? But there are steps around this to make it better for you. Because one, not every product has insane growth in terms of battle decks and all these other different little random auxiliary products will typically not age very well. They will still go up over time, but in 5, 10 years, they're not going to be worth, $10,000, $20,000 or whatever else. They're probably going to be worth like double or triple, which is great. Any investment that doubles itself is in like insane value. This idealism that you need something to times 10 its own value for it to be actually a worthwhile investment is crazy. And I don't know, it's just like the gambling mentality, right? But so I really wanted to make this video to talk about the real ways to actually make money investing in Pokemon. And I don't know why this isn't talked about more, because in all honesty, most people that are trying to, you know, be an investor or whatever else, you're doing it in the wrong way. You're instantly going to be like, wow, wrong way? You don't know anything, buddy. So technically, there's no wrong way to do something, right? But there are better ways to do something. So the best way to actually invest in trading cards, whether it be Pokemon, Magic, One Piece, whatever, sorcery is pretty good, by the way. Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, whatever the hell you want to invest in, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter what TCG it is. These principles remain the same. The only thing that actually matters is how much capital you are investing. It does not matter what, if I buy one ETB, in 10 years, that ETB might be worth $500, $1,000. Cool. But could I have not done more with that $100 in that 10-year period? Think about that, right? Think about all that time period that you could have done something better with that $100. And that's where, so think of all that time that in that period that you could have done more with that $100 or then the $200 or the $300. What if instead of waiting for that to go to 1,000, what if you quickly flipped that and say, right now, easiest time to flip any sort of trading card, doesn't matter what it is, you can easily make an extra, $20 to $100 per product, doesn't matter what it is. Why don't you go do that? And then what happens? You can now you say, all right, let's put it out there, right? You buy one prismatic ETB. This is AUD, I don't know what it is in USD, whatever else. You buy one ETB for $100. You are then straight away next day sell it for 180 or 200, right? Next day guaranteed. You then have the ability for the next drop of whatever item it is to buy two ETBs. Maybe you only get 180. That's fine. Now you add $20, and guess what? You've got two ETBs. And you know what happens? Those two ETBs you're now selling for $400. Do you not see how quickly this can actually go very in scale upwards? You don't make money from having no money. You make money from having money. Money makes money. it's crazy how simple it is. The more money you have, the more money you make. Investing in one or two items is not an investment. I'm sorry to say. Buying one or two items will not change your life, no matter what you buy. Even if you bought Evolving Skies at its absolute minimum price back in the past, congratulations. You would have, all right, say now you've got $3,000, right? So you bought it for 120, or yeah, we'll do 120. Now we are selling it for what, $4,000? Cool. What can you do with that? $4,000? That's cool. I can probably pay rent, for a month. Probably, get some food, probably pay bills for a little bit. That's crazy. It's not small amount of money. Don't get me wrong. It's a good amount of money to do something with. But think about that, right? Is your life going to change from having this one product in 5 to 10 years? The answer is going to be no. There is no amount of product. Like anytime something comes up, right? If you randomly have like a teeth accident, right? And you need to get a new dentist to replace teeth or do something like that. Typically health insurance don't help you there. So you're out money. What happens if something happens to your car? What happens to all these different things are going to come up that are going to be big bills that you need to spend it on, right? Think about that. You need to be able to spend money to be able to get that quickly fixed. And you are probably going to have to liquidate one or two ETBs in future or booster boxes or whatever else you have because you're going to be like, oh crap, I got this bill to pay. And that's fine. That literally life happens like that. But what happens if before that entire period even started, you were just taking one ETB or one booster box or whatever else, instantly selling it, getting more money to reinvest into the next thing and just keeping that going until you had, you know, 50, $100,000. Think about how much further that would go into actually making your life better, right? If you have $50,000 that you just generated from buying and selling Pokemon for the past, 6 months to a year, that's crazy. That's so good. But think about that. If you started, I know so many people that have done this, like myself included. I know a bunch of people that have done insane turnarounds where they have turned literally $100 ETB is what they started with. And these are like broke college, like uni students, no, like nothing else, no other income or whatever else. They started on one ETB. They now have $100,000 of inventory and they are constantly buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And they're doing that in less than, 6 months to a year. Obviously, to get to that level that quickly, it takes a lot of investment and a lot of time, which is fine. If you don't have the time, you're doing this as a side thing, all good. Try as much as you can to get whatever product you can. There's online drops, there's retail drops. You can go buy someone from someone else and then quickly try and sell it that. You can literally find people selling it the day it comes out for trying to get $10, $20 of profit. And if you see that someone else will be buying that for say 160, or like $20, $30 more, why don't you buy from that person, sell to that person, and then you've made money in between that, right? You're just being another middleman. This is literally how business works. It doesn't matter what product you're selling, where you're buying from, who you're buying from. Every single person is all buying from one thing, selling it to someone else at a higher rate. That is how business works. Doesn't matter whether or not you're buying any sort of product, non-Pokemon, whether or not you have a problem. If you have a problem, right, and you're solving it for someone, you're selling a simple solution that costs you maybe time to learn how to fix the problem, whether it be money, how to fix the problem, whatever else, and you're selling it as a solution to someone else who is paying you money, and you are in between that. It's that crazy simple thing that I don't know why so many people think it's just this revolutionary thing or whatever else, but I don't know. So what's the difference between someone that owns a local game store that is buying from a distributor, selling selling the product to market, and what's the difference between a scalper that buys the product, right, and then sells it to a customer, right? Every single thing there, you have someone buying from someone to then sell to a customer, buying from someone, sell to a customer. There's no like actual disconnect there. I don't know why people always paint everyone as like, oh my god, this place is better than this place is better than this. All the LGSs that go around pretending like they're not doing the exact same thing of I buy from distributor, I sell to someone. There's no difference there. It doesn't matter where you get your product. You're still doing the exact same thing. I don't the other thing, most LGSs, the way they get most of their product, because I'm telling you, they are not getting it from distributors. They are buying it from other people and then selling it. And what's that doing? It's the same thing. I don't get it. The amount of hate that people get. Like, okay, some people 100% warranted. Some people are dickheads and they deserve everything that comes their way. But a lot of people are literally just trying to turn a small amount of money into something more. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you really want to invest your money properly and make a lot of money with Pokemon, trading cards, whatever it is, All you're doing initially until you build up enough capital is you are just straight reselling as quickly as possible. Churn and burn, baby. Churn and burn. Build up that money. Build it up. Because at the end of the day, if you are investing, like, look, if you go back to a traditional stock, right? If you are investing $1, or say you buy one Apple share 10 years ago, right? You probably now what? I think it's like 150. So back then, maybe like 30, 40 cents a share. It's now 150 a share. Congratulations. You've made $150 in what, 20 years? Okay. Imagine if you were back then and you bought 10,000 shares, right? You had the money to buy 10,000. And now you look at it, wow, you've made a crap ton more money, right? Because money makes money. It doesn't matter what you believe or how much something goes up astronomically or whatever else. The way you make money is with money. The more money you have, the more money you end up with at the end. Like, it's just one of those things. If I bought 30 Evolving Skies 3 years ago and then sold half of that today, that's crazy. I've made so much freaking money. Versus if I bought one or two, I maybe cover the box of the other box that I opened. That's cool, but like, I'm not really that much further, right? So there's a thing called when you buy three of something, right? So you have one that you can rip, have fun with, whatever else. You have one that you store away and, it's an investment. And then you have another one which you just sell to cover those investments. So as soon as that third one covers both of those or even one of those investments, hey, cool, you now less money invested overall, right? Because you get a bunch of it back. But what if instead of doing like, that extra one that you're just leaving to invest, what happens if you just buy two, like you still buy the three, right? But then you sell these two, you cover the cost of the one that you want to rip, and you also make extra money with that one. And now you've got all that extra money for the next one, for the next drop, right? Pokemon releases sets every 3 months. This is not hard to churn and burn. Like every single time. Yes, there are going to be sets that don't do as great, and you're going to make a lot less money, right? Not every set is prismatic. Not every set is Ascended Hero. Not every set is the biggest home run or whatever else. And it doesn't need to be. Your goal is to just churn and churn and churn and make as much money as you quickly can. That way, so you have real money to actually make a difference in your life long term. That's my rant for today. I hope that someone listens and someone decides that, wait a minute, I want to actually change my life for the better in the long term. I don't want to just be like, oh, I bought this ETB now in 3 months to a year. Now I can maybe pay for my, car service, and now I've got nothing else to show for it, right? My car, if I want to get a service, is like $700. So think about that, right? If I bought one Evolving Skies 3 years ago, and then today I was trying to sell it, my car, it would cover my insurance for my car for 1 year and my registration for 1 year. Is that great? Yeah, it's not bad. But, what could I have done with that money that I invested all that years ago instead? I probably could have made more money just churning and burning, right? What would actually change my life? 10 ETBs in 5 years or one ETB in 5 years, right? I'm obviously talking very, very small scale because I know majority of people aren't going to scale up that quickly, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to think that your life is going to change just because you own one ETB.